There is a secret hidden for thousands of years. As the master of food and beverage of this place, he will reveal it to you. The world needs to know. His name is Paul Schenk.
Hi, I'm Paul Schenk, and I'm here to introduce you to the world's best-kept secret, Korean food, hanshik. We are about to make one of the most interesting and bizarre noodle dishes ever seen. It's served icy cold. It's mulnaengmyeon. I've got with me right here one of my toys. It's a noodle machine. Have a look at this. So I'm not actually going to make this dish using those fresh noodles. I'm going to be using these dried buckwheat noodles. This is the key ingredient for this dish. The first part of our dish involves creating the stock. This is the most interesting part because the stock is what makes this absolutely unique and amazing. So I need beef. I'm going to duck off to my fridge, get a couple of other ingredients, and then I'll come back and I'll show you exactly how to make this stock. Get my beef. Ah, there's the beef. Look at that baby. Beautiful big pear. I'll come back for that later. And I need that. Okay, so I've got my beef and a few other little ingredients. The beef that I'm going to be using today is brisket. So I've got a pot of water on at the back. I've got my meat ready there. I'm just going to prepare a few little vegetables first to make sure that we give it a good full flavour. Roughly chop the onion. I'm going to cut that into 6. We've got the radish. Simply cut straight through in big pieces. If you don't have radish or if you can't get it, no problem, just leave it out. I've got the spring onions, which I'm going to keep fairly big as well, big pieces. Garlic, cloves, and 1 little piece or 2 little pieces of ginger. So all this will go directly into the pot. So water's simmering. I put that in whole. The radish, 1, 2, that's going to be enough. The onion. Spring onions, garlic, and the ginger. This is the key element to this dish. Okay, so I have my beef stock and the secret ingredient. Beef stock is here. I've already taken off a little bit of the fat that was on top of it. I've got something here called dongchimi. Dongchimi is pickled radish, and it's in its juice. So the juice has a very unique vinegary, salty flavour, and I'm going to be using this mixed together as my sauce for this dish. Now, 60 parts beef stock, 40 parts dongchimi. We mix that together, and I'm going to make sure that that's icy cold, ready for our dish. We're going to prepare the vegetables. I've got cucumber that I have to get ready, some Korean pear or pae. I'll go and grab them from the fridge. All right, I've got everything I need for this one. I've got the Korean pear and my cucumber. The cucumber, I'm simply going to cut this in half lengthways and then slice it on the angle to get a nice fan shape. Very thin. Whenever you have a dinner, you always finish your dinner, especially barbecues, with mulnaengmyeon, which is what we're making today. So you finish a big barbecue, you have a big feed, and then you finish off with a huge bowl of noodles. And it's really, really refreshing. With the cucumber, the next step for this is just to salt it. I'm going to put a bit of salt on that. We just leave that rest for half an hour or so. That's okay. I've got my radish here. This is a pickled radish. I need this around this length. That looks good to me. I'm just going to peel off the skin. I want to slice this really thin, like so. I just want pieces that are about this size. So I'll show you what I've done with this. You can see I've got pieces this size, all about the same. That's what we're after. It's the texture of this is not as crispy as a fresh radish, of course, because it's been pickling for months. It's salty, it's sour, but there's something, and it's very refreshing, but there's something about it. The more you have, the more you want. For the pear, we take the top and bottom off. For me, without doubt, this is one of the best fruits in the world, Korean pear. You can call it pear, but it's the correct pronunciation is pear. Just going to peel this down. Gorgeous. Peeler's done. Okay, I want this in segments. I'm going to cut it like so. Take out the core. And then we just slice it down. Thin slices. Where in the world are noodles served chilled? There's only one other place in the world, and that's the Japanese soba. But in Korea, you've got 3 or 4 different varieties of cold noodles. And, you know, they're very, very popular. There's the pear. I have to have that last bit for me. I can't go without eating it. Gorgeous, sweet, crispy. Okay, back to the beef. I think to cut the end off is okay. I cut that in half. There we go. So now I just need to slice it against the grain. Cut it the same thickness as the radish. Okay, this is again used for garnish or used for the decoration on top of the noodles. I think we've got enough there for our dish. So in go the noodles. That's our buckwheat noodles. They're very unique, special noodles, these ones. They'll take 1 minute to cook only. It's a very quick process. Give them a bit of a stir while we're cooking. We're ready to go. Okay, you can see the noodles are in there. I'm going to rinse them directly under cold water. Cold running water. Okay, I think we're pretty much ready to go with our dish. The final stages of putting it together. Fumble with my hands. And then I'll bring it up like so. We want to be able to present this a little bit nicely. So I'm making a little parcel with it. I'll bring it over. You can see that there. On top goes the garnish. So we'll make a fan. And the traditional way to serve this is a little fan on top. A fan of the radish. Put that on top. We've got the pear. Just fan that out. We put this one in this direction. Looking good, looking good. It's holding a few pieces of beef. That can go on top. like so. Wow, that's coming together nicely. I'm impressed. And we've got the egg, just half an egg. Whenever you have this dish, there's always served with half an egg. So I'll just put the egg to the side. And then we've got the cool stock. Not cool, cold stock. Cold noodles, could you imagine? That's about the right amount. We have just uncovered another one of the world's best kept secrets. Mulnaengmyeon. This is a dish that is unforgettable simply because it's a frozen or cold noodle dish. You have to enjoy this one. Hi, I'm Paul Schenk, and I'm here to introduce you to the world's best kept culinary secret, Korean food, better known as hanshik. You may see I brought a big tray of vegetables in with me today. Obviously, my dish involves vegetables, it involves beef, and the key ingredient is noodles. It's a noodle dish. It's a lot of fun to make, very easy, and really tasty, something the family will love. It's Japchae. Famous Korean dish. I need to grab some beef out of the fridge, so come with me. So this is beef round. You can use whatever cut of beef, whatever cut of beef you like, as long as it's fairly tender. It's a very lean piece of meat. What I'm going to do with this is slice it thinly, or as thin as I can, and then I'm going to julienne it, or cut it the size of matchsticks. Okay, there's the beef. So I'm going to make a quick marination now. Marinate it for, only very quickly, like 10 minutes is enough. Then we're going to stir fry it. For this dish, we just need 2 pieces of garlic. I take the head off. Chop that garlic up. Sesame seeds. Black pepper next. In that goes. I'll pop that into the beef mix. A touch of sugar, not too much. Sesame seeds, just a pinch. Black pepper, 1 little pinch. And even a little bit of salt. Okay, I've got my soy sauce. We're just going to put a little bit of that in there. And then we give that a good mixing. And we'll leave that sit just for 5-10 minutes, not a problem. Our next step involves getting the vegetables ready. The vegetables, I have a nice selection in front of me. First thing actually is the mushroom. I've got here some pre-soaked dried pyogo mushrooms or shiitake mushrooms. You can see they're dried already. The stem's taken out. Soaked already, sorry, not dried. Ready to go. So I'm going to cut those up. I've also got the woodier mushroom. Now I'll show you 2 varieties. The woodier mushroom comes like this. It's very crisp and dry. You can even see the powder coming off when it breaks. When it's soaked, it comes out, grows in size, and it comes out a beautiful, soft, spongy texture. There's just one little part that we have to take out of that mushroom. So the mushroom, I'm going to cut it into 3, like so. 1, 2, julienne up, or get this all matchstick size. Okay, so that's my mushrooms done. I'll put them into a bowl. beef mushrooms, then I've got the woodier mushrooms. So like I said, there's a little bit of a stem on them just there. I'm going to take that off with the knife. It's a little bit tough, and just simply break it up with my hands. Okay, there we go. That's my woodier mushrooms ready to go. I'm going to mix those together. We put in a little sugar, a little bit of sesame seed, some black pepper, a little bit of salt, only a very little because we're going to put also some soy sauce. Fumble that and we put that to the side. Fresh vegetables, we've got carrot is up first. Carrots we have here. I've also got capsicum and we have onion. Definitely need the onion. And I've also got a very interesting mushroom here. This is called the saesongyi mushroom. Now, I've only ever seen this before in Korea, but it's a great textured mushroom. We cut everything into sort of 4 or 5 centimeter lengths. There we go. We cut down very thin. You can see the technique, and then we just simply lie them down and make a cut through. And that is classic, what we call in French terminology in the kitchen, julienne. Next up, onion. Cut the onion in half. Take off the bottom. We're just after a very fine slice of onion. So onions are done. Okay, so my pans are hot. We're ready to go. I'm just going to cook off all of the ingredients one by one. But of course, I'll get 2 pans going just to show you a little bit faster. A little oil. The beef goes in. Has to be hot. Here it's sizzling. Oh, it smells awesome. Okay, the mushrooms in this one. We'll do carrots and the onion. We've got the capsicums. While that's doing, I'm going to put the noodles in. Noodles have got to boil for 8 minutes. So they've been soaking for 10. I drain them off. A lot like spaghetti, only made from a different product. They're potato starch. I pop that into the hot water, and that's going to cook for 8 minutes. They'll be ready to go. Saesongyi mushroom, the big long one. The spinach I have here. Mushrooms are good. Nice and soft. Smells beautiful. And we're good to go. You can see the colour in that plate. It's time for action. We've got the noodles. The noodles are ready to go. Mr. Lee's preparing the egg. The eggs are like paper thin. Egg yellow and egg white underneath that one. What we're going to do with that is cut it into strips and then slice it finely, julienne or matchstick size. Thanks, Mr. Lee. Noodles I'll take out now and strain. So this is our Japchae noodles. Any good Korean grocer will have them in stock. I drain all the water off, give them a good mix, and they're ready to go into the fry pan. So in they go, in the fry pan. I've got Mr. Lee's secret sauce. Soy sauce, a little bit of sugar, ginger and garlic. It's boiled and then cooled down. It's like soy sauce stock base. We want to cook these noodles in a bit of this sauce. Gives it nice color. And we'll cook that for a couple of minutes only. And you can see that they've changed their color already. The noodles. In they go. And this is all of the ingredients that we prepared earlier. Okay, we're ready to go. Beef goes in. And the juice. Mushrooms go in. So all that preparation and hard work to get that julienne, you will see the final result in a second. Key part of this is mixing it. Okay, so I've got my gloves. I just need to put a dash of sesame oil also. Actually, one glove will be good. A dash of sesame oil into that as well. And, that's better. I can feel it. I've got to feel the food with my hands and really make sure that I've got everything mixed in together. Now I can smell sesame oil. I can smell the soy sauce. And of course, the mushrooms coming out as well. We're ready to plate the dish. I'm going to try and make sure that I get every piece of color and every piece of ingredient into that one dish for that one person. Wow, the key point, I've forgotten something very, very important. I haven't tasted it. Now, it smells good. How does it taste? That's spot on, except I need a little dash of oil. Just a dash, just to wetten it up a little bit. Seasoning's good. Everything's nice, full flavored. These extra pieces of noodles, my son would love that. He would have a field day with those noodles. Okay, the garnish Mr. Lee prepared earlier is the egg yellow, the egg white, and you can see that has everything in it. I can see beef, I can see mushroom, capsicum, carrot, it's all there, and noodles, of course. Sprinkling of sesame seeds on top. So, we have just uncovered one of the world's best kept secrets. This is Japchae, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.